Hey guys, this is my installation tool bag loadout. It's just a cheap craft right bag, but it hasn't been too bad. The bottom's like fairly solid. It's pretty full at the moment, so I might be looking at going to something bigger. On the outside, starting carabiner with just these cheap pencil cases. These are fantastic for all the consumable stuff. I load these up with, resistor packets and BP connectors and just all the little stuff, heat shrink, that sort of stuff. It's really good. Set of cable ties, all that sort of stuff. First tool is the 250mm cobalt. What are they? They're just mini bolt cutters. They work really well for my service pliers. I like to keep the anvils on these really sharp for stripping wire. So anything at all that's metal gets cut with these guys. Got a little, let me get this out of here. It's a little Bosch kit. It's just a 1/4 inch socket or ratchet, sorry. They're really good for getting into some of the really finicky spaces. Sometimes something perpendicular is just the only way that you can get up and around to something. Front here has got some more cable ties. In here, just spiral wrap, sticky backs, all that sort of stuff. Tape in that little pocket and little service key. Going into the bag, it's, like I said, really full. Tool roll here with just a heap of Weha nut drivers. So there's a whole set in there. At the end, a couple picks, a 1/4 inch bit driver, it's a no-name brand one, and some chisels. Moving on to another case. I've got this little setup for punch out tools. So if you don't know what a punch out is, it's this little setup. It's a punch and die set. So this here has 3 sharp edges on it. Let me get this off here. 3 sharp edges on it. That squashes into the die on the top, and you get a really clean, no mess, no swarf hole. So got a set in 20-25mm here. To go with it is a 3/8 Ulcer ratchet. These are 92 swivel headed design. So I find that once the fastener is loose on something, then that availability to just end twist it is just really handy. In there also is socket extension. This is a little Weira nut extractor. So when you get your nut, or in this case the knockout left in the tool, that little guy just goes straight in there, and you can force it in. It's like made of a rubber. They're really cheap. You force it in, and it's just helping grab that last annoying bit of nut or metal material left there. Moving on to the inside of the bag. Label maker. Set of ratcheting crimps. These is the no-name brand, but they actually seem to be right. They work well. I've tried all different types of crimps. I really like the ratcheting ones. Strippers, we've got a Wacom. Maybe see that end bit there. That's how they work. Really good just for getting in cabinets. If you've got a whole cabinet strip, that's the way to do it. Another stripper. This is mostly for, I do fire detection and control. So this is for Radox cable, which is a fire rated cable. Get a multitude of different strippers there in the end, and those guys, you sit there, turn the cable, and then pull it off from that end section. It's got a new folding saw by Klein. I had the same as everyone else. I had the old saw, and that's just to tear up all my bags. So I finally bit the bullet and went for the folding one. This one's pretty good, that there's minimal play in the blade. Set of Knipex linesmans. These are the big boy pliers. Yeah, all the rough-in stuff, they just work so well. Cheap little paintbrush, use that just for all the swarf cleanups at the cabinets at the end of the day. Set of Black Panther snips. They cut a whole load of different stuff. Got electrician's knife. This is just a cheap $7 knife from eBay or something with the hawk bill. It's pretty good. Engineer screw removal pliers. These guys are in the front of the jaw tips there. I don't know if you can see that. It's rounded and it has serrations in it. So when your little PCB screws get stuck, these are the rescue. Savage level, it's a conduit level, so it's got the screw here to screw onto, rare earth magnets. This looks pretty sexy. Bickwick came out with a hex set in a multi-bit driver. This thing is amazing. Quite solid connections. It's the revolver style, so you push up to feed the next one out. There's always a place for your bits, and that is great to use over, your traditional set like this, where you have the little one always go and walk about. They're always in the bottom of your bag. Screwdriver's the way to go. Series of screwdrivers. We've got just old Stanley beaters. This one here is through Tang. So is this vessel impactor. It's a PH2 impactor. It's actually got a cam in it, so when you hit the end, this blade rotates counterclockwise 12 degrees, and that's to remove all your stuck rusty screws. Barco set square level. Got a cheap little conduit reamer. Just like to make sure, all the edges when we're pulling cable are nice and tapered. What we've got in here. Got a little Bosch laser level. Yeah, it's really good. Just a cheap reversible, flat and Phillips, multi-height ratcheting stubby. Set of Knipex Cobras. These are the electrician's variety. They have the longer nose, so traditionally you'd have a hemispherical head here that I find just gets in the way of everything. To have nearly this needle nose style is fantastic. And for those of you who haven't seen the Cobras, they've got a multi-set. They're just so much better than a channel lock. The gripping force from these things is unreal. It's an older set of Knipex side cutters. These were passed down for me from my dad when he came off the tools. They're 15 years old. They're still sharp as anything. I love the Knipex gear. Wara reamer. This is a square tip. Just a little set of Nipex linesmans. This is what I started with before I realised that the longer variety suited me better. We've got 240s, 225s that, yeah, they're just better for high leverage. They still have their place. Every now and again you got to get in somewhere small, but you still want the profile of the jaw on the linesmans, not something needle nosed. Getting into the more specific tools now, we have a set of conduit spanners. These are from Gardner Bender. They're not cheap. They work really, really well. Tightening up the last of the nuts without rounding off. Even something like this, like you still get in there, but right tool for the job. Magnetic pickup tool. Set of tweezers, always come in handy. Set of fiberglass pens, for those of you who haven't seen. It's just for cleaning contactors. So you have a steel brush tip and brass, and the last one here is fiberglass, just for, again, cleaning up those contactors. AliExpress do the Pika style long tip markers for a couple bucks. It's really good to get into a deep hole. Got here some little electronic chip removal tool. Let's keep these in a plastic because they sit in the bag better. They get under the chip, so you can remove them off the PCBs. Plastic scraper and plastic blades. So good for stickers. You get things from the manufacturer and they've got those paper stickers that dissolve when you look at them. This is the way to do it. Pair of locking hemostats. These things are great for getting in where even needle nose won't. They lock so at the bottom there, so you can pull cable, all sorts of stuff. It's a cheap plastic dental mirror. This works really well. Barco reamer tool, and just describe. Marksman pen, for Australians, this is a chalk pen. If you've got a deep hole, you can't mark it with anything, this shoots some bright green chalk, and yeah, there's nothing really else like it. Cheap little punch down tool. There's strippers in there, but I only ever use it to tidy up 5-pin connectors with the punch down. This is a center punch is what I use it for. I don't like the automatic ones. They never really mark really well. Yeah, that's the way to do it. And that's about it. Thanks for watching, guys. A couple of stubbies in there. Back in the back.